Siri Gurudev Sadguru Sadguru Namaha Sadguru Siri Gurudev.
Long deep breath. And inhale. And exhale. And breathe. Okay, now Japa's. Oh, there you are. Glad to have you, dear. So, Harimandir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. So, Harimandir, first of all, tune in for yourself. Okay?
Sure.
Okay. So now, let's see. So, Japa Saraswati, can you read us for this thing?
Yes, it's kind of long.
Yes, it is.
All right. Your fifth dimension coming now. Strung nerves. Dear light workers, didn't we find that so many of those symptoms are about moving into the fifth dimension? For instance, Japa Saraswati could feel ringing in her ears, feeling weightlessness like with Baba Siddhi Chand felt floating using on a rock over the river, with like being in the Himalayas to expand about the change of time. That was a gift for Japa Saraswati. Gian Das Prem, bird listening and dancing from your silent meditation, communication between the levels of frequencies from other dimensions, knowing and many other situations as with your heart breath goes deeper with celebrating my heart breath bird dancer.
Okay. Go ahead.
Harimandir.
Yeah.
Harimandir's
Wait a minute.
original.
Yeah. Harimandir. Well, say that with her first. Go ahead. Harimandir.
Harimandir?
Yes, go ahead.
Harimandir's original spiritual name has been Sushma, the same as Sushmana, the mantra for our Kriya for atomic radiation from the survival kit, page 11, is Prana Apana Sushmana Hari Hari Har Hari Har Hari Har Hari. The Kriya talked about the particles of atoms with changes, gods, forces, prana, electrons, life force, apana, protons, eliminating force, sushmana, neutrons, central force, along the spine, like in the positive mind, negative mind, and neutral mind. Harihar is Hindu for Vishnu and Shiva and balanced two powerful divine forces.
Okay, now this also, Harimandir found this this morning, and it said, Sushma, I think you were asking about my name similar to the mantra we chanted, Sushmana. Susham, Sushmana, Sushmana, Sushmana refers to the central spiritual energy channel along the spine, while Sushma means sparkling beauty or grace. But when Punjaji gave me the name, unusual among the names he was usually giving, he said he don't know why I'm giving you this, maybe because your name is Susan, but Sushma is the central channel through which the energy flowing up the spine through all the chakras to come out upon the 1,000 petal lotus, never to return. There you go. Okay, now it's Aagia Pal.
Aagia Pal, the year of the fire horse, ushering in the new 5D Earth through the portal of the subconscious mind. As we witness the old 3D world collapsing under the weight of greed, corruption, incompetence, and misuse of power, to name a few, we are awakening to the power of our subconscious mind as key to the healing of the world and the experience of the new earth, shifting to a 5D timeline of love, compassion, and gentle spirits. As we have studied in the work of Dr. Hugh Len, his Ho'oponopono prayer to clean the subconscious mind of millennia of unwanted poisonous thoughts and beliefs, Dolores Cannon, with her QHHT on with hypnosis, encountering ETs, and past life regression, along with Edgar Casey's statements about the connection of the subconscious mind with the universal mind-soul, it becomes clear to the golden thread of our healing world is through the power of the subconscious mind. We can and will heal the world, thereby affecting the shift to the 5D timeline by clearing our subconscious mind. We are all connected of old false beliefs, ancestral patterns, and the old world corrupted ways that have forgotten about our connection and love as the ground of our being. Our work is now to clear our subconscious mind and allow love to guide us into the higher frequency realms offered by 5D reality. We got this. Spread the word. Now we are previewing the symptoms of the fifth dimension. The symptoms.
Okay. Now that is the end of Aagia Pal, and now we're going about these other things. Go ahead.
Okay. The symptoms of transitioning to the fifth dimension, 5D, involve a shift toward unconditional love, unity, subconsciousness, and heightened intuition, moving away from fear-based, ego-driven, and dualistic thinking. Physical and emotional symptoms often include erratic sleep patterns, vivid dreams, intense emotional fluctuations, and feelings of being different. Main Ascension 5D symptoms: interrupted sleep perceiving patterns. Listen to your body and find ways to relax and allow the energy to flow. There are many herbal home remedies and teas to help you sleep, so avoid harder sleeping drugs if possible. Even just a short meditation followed by a warm cup of milk with turmeric before bedtime can make a difference. Headaches. This can be pressure anywhere on the head. Breathe into it to help the energy flow and imagine white light coming through your crown. Oh, your crown chakra to fill and relax your head inside and out. Visions and or sight issues. You may feel you require glasses one day and that your vision is sharper the next. You may also begin energies or things moving through the corners of your eyes. Do not be afraid. These are energies that have always been there as less tangible aspects of life. Dropping things or bumping into things. Become fully aware of your body movements and be fully present in what you do to avoid accidents. It's important to be grounded, so avoid drugs and alcohol. Emotional mood swings. You may feel like you're going crazy at times, going from super enthusiastic to quickly discouraged and depressed. These are expressions of patterns and issues you must look at to be able to integrate into a new, higher reality. Unable to focus as usual. Don't run for the ADD drugs. Your brain is adjusting to a new vibrational reality, and although it's a slow process, there is a lot for it to reinterpret the energy shifts. Be gentle and compassionate with yourself and learn to stretch your ability to concentrate with discipline, patience, and love. Losing track of time. This will be more obvious if it's not like you to forget appointments or what day it is. Keep things organized with calendars, watches, and schedules to avoid feeling lost and like floating around. The positive side is that you are disciplined and focused. You'll accomplish much more than usual as time will stretch to meet your needs. Heightened sensitivity. This may include your sense of smell, hearing, and taste. You may also shift your eating preferences, scents you enjoy, and selection of music as a result. Hearing high-pitched tones. This can also be hearing a series of tones and be accompanied by a pressure in one or both ears. Just relax and let it pass. Heartburn or chest pressure. Your heart is where your soul abides, and it's trying to expand and break all your barriers. So breathe deeply and open up to your true galactic heart. Anxious, free-flowing energy. At times you may experience fear and anxiety for no reason. Your ego mind will quickly try to find a reason for it, but you are aware that there is really no reason. Use it as an opportunity to observe and disbelieve your ego mind. Heightened sensitivity to toxic environments. This can be triggered by both physical places or emotional situations that are toxic. Since this is not going to get easier as time goes by, try to avoid or change these situations. Take regular baths with Epsom salt or Dead Sea salt and lavender to cleanse and let go of what needs to go. Brief suicidal thoughts. This may feel like a spiritual death of sorts, but remember that this is just your ego mind going through its progressive dissolution, especially if you are invested in regular self-exploration for spiritual growth. Remember that this shall pass and don't dwell on it. Focus your attention on something positive. Involuntary kriyas. These are jolts or waves of energy that often move your body without your control. Breathe through these experiences to let the energy flow, for they unblock energy. The sudden urge for space. This can go from feeling the need to remove old clutter, donate old belongings, and move furniture to the realization of how important your own mental and emotional space is. You may become impatient with people who waste your time or invade your space. Give yourself permission to create openness and stretch your wings. Intense desire for change. This may be any type of change depending on your specific situation, even if it may seem irrational or illogical. Your truer sense of self is yearning to express itself, even if just in the colors and things you surround yourself with. Listen to it, open your emotional gates, and make the leap to meet deeper desires. Revisiting the past. In order to fully experience the fifth dimension, you must be at peace with old habits and people, so they may show up again even though you thought you were done with them. Recognize your patterns without judgment and forgive yourself, both yourself and those who have wronged you. This is essential now. Heightened sense of not being on the planet. This is a strong sense of detachment. It's not unusual. It's not the usual sense of disconnection of most feminine souls or indigo adults. And then there's a link, but a more neutral, aloof type of feeling. You are slowly detaching from density, so simply allow this to be. Glimpses into oneness. You may experience at times an overwhelming joy and love for all humanity on the planet and your existence. Enjoy when this happens, but don't get down when it goes away. A new sense of time. Sometimes it may feel like the world stops and then it goes so fast it's hard to catch up with it. This may also manifest as the vivid recognition of your path in new events or dreams, or the sense that you are experiencing parallel realities. Time is definitely shifting, so be aware and take any and all opportunities to process and integrate more aspects of yourself. As our dimensional shift unfolds in the years to come, you'll find yourself in a much better place if you establish at least the following habits. 1, drink as much pure water as possible. 2, keep your body flexible and strong. 3, breathe deeply at every opportunity. 4, choose acceptance over resentment. 5, disconnect from the fear-mongering mass media. 6, shift toward an organic vegetarian diet. 7, keep a regular meditation practice. 8, invest in your ongoing self-exploration to shift your emotional patterns. If you've been on the path of self-awareness for years, some of these symptoms will be very familiar. Hopefully, you've learned from them that the ultimate purpose of your life is to move out of your own way and surrender to your soul, the real witness and director of your life movie and spiritual journey. Oh, see this Kriya for strong nerves from the survival kit, page 36, and Aagia Pal will lead it. So we're going to do that next, and then we will follow with our meditation, which will be CNR, Consciousness No Reality, which will be 1 minute of heart pumping, 5 minutes of CNR, Consciousness No Reality, which is strong heart breath, belly breath, nose, inhalation for 6 seconds, nose, exhalation for 6 seconds from out of your heart center. Slide from fear, let go from any of your old, nasty, difficult stuff. No reality, no thinking, no everyday self, only feel, just be. Then spend 2 minutes to become awareness and understand what happened using from everyday self, using your notes, listen and share. Lots of love. Siri Gian.
God bless you all.
Yay.
Yes. So, did you all understand what is going on? Did you feel that? Anybody? You
I
could,
didn't.
okay. And wait a minute. Oh, by the way, I was listening from what do you call it? From Baba Siddhi-chan about the survival kit, okay, with Baba Siddhi-chan. And he was immediately huge feeling for quick for shocks. Okay. Do you understand that?
No. What quick 4 shocks?
Yeah. For instance, if you suddenly see ETs, maybe that's a shock. Do you understand?
Okay.
Or if there is a big problem suddenly from the earth,
Mm-hmm.
that's a shock. Do you
Okay.
understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, can we put up our next?
Kriya?
Yes, please.
All right, hold on 1 sec. It's a coming.
Okay. Or even this morning, I was walking, and then suddenly there was another person, and when I didn't know that, and that uh, I thought, "Woo! I should do that Kriya right away, or begin to do that a lot." Okay. Okay. Aagia Pal.
Sure. Yeah, that was what Japa Saraswati just read that you wrote was amazing. It was so inclusive. And so let me just do now um, the Kriya for strong nerves. And next week we'll do the shock. I'll call it shock therapy. We'll do the meditation for shock. Um, Also, I can preface this by saying, if folks can do this outside, um, I I've found that it really packs a punch, a bigger. It's very powerful outside. Okay, so
Cool. Okay.
yep. So this is from page 36 of the survival kit. It's called the Meditation for Strong Nerves. And it was written September 29th of 1975. So what this will do, practice this meditation to gain a calm mind and strong nerves. It will help protect you from irrationality. So this is how we'll do it. We sit, easy pose, straight spine, elongated. Um, Make sure your chin, mine tends to come up. So keep your chin down and tucked in. Um, and with your left hand up at your ear, um, your thumb and your fourth finger, the pads of the fingers touching, and the right hand down in your lap, and it's the thumb and the pinky, the little finger pads touching. Now the polarity changes. This is for female, but for males, the polarity changes, so you just reverse it. The right hand would be the thumb and the fourth finger up near the ear, and the left hand, thumb and little finger down in the lap. Okay, so everybody got that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll get into this pose with the two mudras. Left hand for women near the ear, thumb and fourth finger touching. No nails touching though. He makes a point of that. Don't let your nails touch. And then the right hand your thumb and your little finger. Your eyes are 1/10 open or 9/10 closed, however. And your breath is long and deep, but not, efforting. It's not powerful, just long and deep and easy and natural. Okay, so we're going to do this for 5 minutes. And then at the end, you'll hear the bowl, my fire horse bowl. You'll hear the bowl, and that will be the end of the meditation. At which time you'll inhale deeply, just stretch your hands, open the fingers, and then raise your hands and shake them over your head, rapidly, and then just relax. And okay, anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Japa Saraswati, could you put the whole page? Because I can only, there you go. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right, so let us begin 5 minutes. Inhale deeply. Raise the hands, shake them rapidly over your head. And relax. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And so now we're going to have 2 minutes, no, 1 minute for heart pumping. And begin. Now, CNR, 5 minutes. Inhale. Exhale. And breathe. 2 minutes. 2 minutes to listen. No. Okay. Could be for your notes. Inhale. Exhale. And breathe. Okay. Yeah. No, Aagia Pal.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. So during the meditation, I found myself, I felt heat rising through me and lots of heat coming up and a feeling of calm. And it was a strength of calm. Hard to explain, but it wasn't it was a strong calmness. And then a verse from the New Testament came to me. It's from Corinthians, Paul's letter to the Corinthians, and it's it has now become my favorite line verse in the Bible, and it's something like, "For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as also I am known." And the beauty of this, it just felt like it melted into my heart. I can't actually explain why, but I felt the profundity of it. And that it was a teaching. Obviously, I don't see everything. I can't see everything. I have to recognize that, and when I recognize that, but in the hope, and this is coming in terms of the shift that I believe as we shift into 5D, we will know even as also we are known, and we will begin, or at least we'll begin that. And so that was pretty significant for me.
Aagia Pal,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have the numbers?
1 Corinthians 13, verse 12.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead.
And that is, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to share. It's not a lot of words, but this really, really resonated and came out of this meditation for me. And yeah, it's hard to explain. I'm just like totally mellow right now, and tons grateful. It's, yeah, and this is a real gift because it's been a very difficult few days with everything that's going on. And so being able to clean, as I was talking about, the subconscious, and really take in, that the meditation, and then really take in that verse that came to me kind of out of the blue, but not really. Was a real gift. So with that, I'll share the time.
Wow. Yep. That's great. Thank you so much. Now we are beginning to understand.
Beginning, yeah.
Okay. So, Gian Das Prem.
Satnam. That was a beautiful meditation.
Yes.
I think it sort of vibrated in with the speaking of taking care of ourselves and noticing and then becoming comfortable. With the meditation, there's often a focus that we have within our body, right, as we're following the patterns. And then we can sort of expand on that. Now, noticing my hand down below was sort of bringing in, and my hand my right hand was releasing, and it reminded me of being in a room where the reception wasn't good on the radio, and you would touch this or touch that or touch each other, and seemingly it would work. And then going back to the patterns of vibration and what we create within ourselves. So that was good for me to notice what was my challenge at first. And with the eyes, 9/10 closed, is has always been a challenge for me, that you can notice the stages when you go along with these different meditations. That's when you're doing that, that it creates another, either a challenge or a focus. And for me today, once I was able to get to that moment and just come into the body again and feel, the softening within the breath and all of that trust that comes with it, works for me today. And that was really beautiful. So today I was noticing, as I was writing down the date, that today it's 4/15/25, and when we add all those numbers up, it comes out to 17. So that I thought was kind of cool, and that it came to me right away to reading the numbers right to left. And that I found a mala that I had that was broken, and I was going to repurpose it, and it had 17 beads in it, and I had noted that down as part of my memory from going through the practices and coming back to that. So for me today, with the meditation and the talking before, it was really calm this week. And then to have Japa do the reading, it was calmer today, and I think that gave me a chance to go a little bit deeper and just like, feel that surrender, the embrace of the surrender, and seeing myself as a container for handling that, and coming back to that aura, and noticing what we're creating from within, and then we have the ability to heal ourselves and to be with that practice. And it's like, for me, today the visual I got was doing a hearing test, and there was this booth that you went into, and it was pretty much airtight. I think it was really cool. And a lot of people, you have to adjust yourself. It's different for everybody when you go inside of there. And I just thought it was so cool. And for today, I was brought back to that place, and noticing the challenges that, we can face, and how we can test ourselves in certain ways, that we listen to things and we understand them. For myself, a visual learner, so it often helps for me to do something repetitively, or come back to it again if I feel that I may need improvement in that area, if that's for the benefit of the body. For coming back to that, like washing the inner self, almost to notice that. And it reminded me of in Egypt, like all of the different deities they had. Greece, Egypt, and at the pyramids, they had all of these ways, and they would have an altar and a celebration, and it followed all of these steps, and it brought me back to different cultures. And the dancing just seems to be coming back all through that. The music that's in the back, the music that's staying here in the air that we're sharing, and that vibration of coming into those patterns, and back to that peaceful way of, side to side and dark to light, and noticing sort of now we're moderators, we're mediators, right? So we're in between these communications that are happening as we're billions of people, right? When I cleaned up my garden a little, and I put a little bit of straw up on this place, I noticed the birds were coming to take it. It was a practice that I had learned, or they notice what you're doing, and you're spreading different things, maybe bringing up worms for them and whatnot, and just noticing the process this week for me of going back, and being in that place of being younger, and that way of discovery. And then having, I was mentioning to somebody this morning of a paper that I wrote, and I thought it was great. I was so happy with it. And then I brought it up to my teacher, and she read it. She was like, "Oh, geez, oh, whoa." And I noticed within her that way of, okay, this is the receiving of, sometimes we're putting out something we're not fully realizing, and we can come back to that too, and we can see. Another side of that would be within a group of people in a support group, and this person expresses themselves, and you're able to see the actual healing in their face and their body just changed within the expression, within the release of the fear and the rage and the love and the peace, and coming, to full circle with that handling of all that. This person just changed in front of me. I was just visibly watching it. It was pure, it was true, it's actual. And for us coming through that with the understanding of it's the vibration, right? It's we're reading that, we're seeing what's in that, and we're taking it through ourselves in a way that we can, okay, this isn't healthy for me, but within the practice, we're expressing that, right? We're moving it through ourselves and saying, oh my goodness, ooh, okay, a little bit of shock, right? Shakti, adi, for any way of noticing, for me. And I just wanted to go back to the Hapana Ono again of, being able to say, sorry, I love you, and please forgive me, and and then back to that mediation, right? Whether it's for me first, to absorb that and come out with the best possible solution, right? For living in my name, for being that source, and without really a full way of claiming, or just sharing, I guess, coming back to that way of sharing and caring. And it's just amazing how, when we open ourselves up to that channel, that we have, so many ways to come back to that Shakti of seeking and asking and smiling and celebrating life for life, within and without. And the third eye, the way it's combining the memory, right? We can remember, we can go through memories, whether it's stories that we've been through. Our brain is just such this beautiful thing. For me, I can almost believe it's something I haven't seen before, because it truly seems that way. But it could be a part of me. It's my story, my going through the cosmos of this energy that's coming through, of the relationships that don't go away, and the, what enters our earth and what exits our earth, and just sort of having that wide lens, right? We're able to see through the astronauts, and that full sense of, that the scope of it, and coming back into the focus of the memory and the aura bending, and being able to handle those changes that we're in when we're being in this vast exchange of information, that we have possibilities here. So, and then having that, like the serving food, and you know keeping the eyes on the plate. Sometimes it's good to get our hands on that food, right? Because there's so much preparation going behind it. So the preparation, how we're preparing ourselves, and it's sort of surveying. With our thoughts, in a sense, right? We're surveying ahead of what we may want to see as the best solution, and then sort of seeing that into being as it is such, right? Agre name, Jugagre name. Satgare Siri Guru Name, right? And just for my protection, and coming into these beautiful songs that we're creating, and the keep writing for all of that, those beautiful things. And however we go through it, sometimes I like to, make a little note on a paper, a prayer card or something, and then recycle it in some sort of way. We can put tobacco in it, we can roll it up, we can leave it at a place, or we can, put it into the earth, or sometimes we burn it together in a little fire, like a puja or something. So Wahe Guru, and thank you so much for this opportunity of coming together and sharing, our soul. And Baba Siri Chand, I mean, how much freedom do we get that we're able to just sort of feed off each other and feed each other as well, and then noticing the healing that we're receiving each week, and trying to move through that through another week, another day, another time. And the walking prayer for me, it's been Bani Guru. I slept through, I had it on over and over. Sanatam and her mom and her daughter did a beautiful version in 2023, the spring of 2023. It was just so beautiful. So that's my thing for today. And the walking prayer, the birds are coming right through in that song as well. And it's just so beautiful to see how we could work together with that, with our gardening, and, yeah, and the noticing of what they're eating too. I mean, let's face it. I mean, we're going back to eating bugs again. Oh, so it's okay too, because that's part of the vegan. If it is, I get it is they have a production though where they go through a life and then their form is there. And if you look at it, there's a lot of vegetable matter going on in there with that life flying around. So it's okay to look at other ways of food and even fasting, because that water is just making everything so bright, right? Through the light comes to life, and the flower dancing too, for me, just the spreading of that, and that can be part of the stretching too. So yeah, Waheguru, and thank you for this opportunity. Love is good.
Thank you, dear. Okay. Okay, now, Harimandir.
Yeah. The first thing I got was drink cocoa this morning.
Drink cocoa. That sounds lovely.
Yes. And then all sorts of things about New Mexico and having to divide the land that I'm need to that part of my life and the land that I own there needs to go to other people. So that was a reminder that even with all the other things that I'm working on, that's hanging in the wind in the to-do list. It's interesting that Gian Das Prem brought up the the number 17. Ever since February 17th, which was the beginning of all this, it's come up a lot for me, and including Friday, which is the 17th of April, and I think it's a full moon. It's either a full moon or a completely empty moon. I think it's a full moon. A big deal, a huge deal astrologically. I haven't read the information about it other than it was just saying this is a major a major portal, a major change. And Gian Das Prem brought up Ho'opono. Using this shock mudra while doing Ho'oponopono came to me that would be a good way to do Ho'oponopono using this mudra.
Mhm.
That's it.
Good. Thank you so much. So maybe you could listen from Pam Gregory. Do you know the astrologer? Maybe you could, I think there are predictions with the April 17th, if you can find that. Okay.
There's another one that another person who
Heather?
no, it was a person I don't know, but it was on, of all things, WhatsApp. Anyway, more than one person besides Gregory are bringing up this on Friday.
Okay. And actually, Japa Saraswati was talking about that. Okay. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, Japa Saraswati.
Satnam, it's a big one. It's kind of messy, so I'm looking at where to start because I want to start with a puja, which the ones I've seen, oh, how do I explain this? There's a hermitage here, and this is how they do it. They do it in a very traditional way. I've seen other people do it in other places the same way, but there will be other ways to do the same rituals, but I'll just describe this one because this is the one that came up in my meditation. So a puja is it's like an offering, or it is an offering, and it's meant to inspire intimacy with the divine. It's like a conversation, but the way that they do it at the Hermitage and the way I've seen it done other places is that there's a Shiva lingam, which is a pillar that represents Shiva. It also represents a phallus. So there's a distinctly sexual, phallic sort of energy that can sometimes be picked up on, which I believe is the sexual, creative, and generative force, also of the positive mind that we're going to draw back into. So this is just a central theme. So anyway, during the puja, there's a fire where you burn your offering. So you will burn, oil and ghee and flowers and grain. And then also you get a smudge on your head with a type of incense ash called vibhuti, that it represents like the ash of the cremation grounds. So there are yogis who will smear their whole body with ashes to represent their oneness with that Shiva element of death, like that they totally blur the lines with their skin of life and death. They want to be in that realm so much. And in the puja also, there's a silent observer that I was telling Siri Gian about on the phone the other day. And this silent observer is called the sakshi. He also represents Shiva. And he's the witness consciousness, and he's totally non-attached. And he also represents the neutral mind. So he also represents the Shushmana. And he can be called also, aside from Sakshi, he can also be called or represent Purusha, which is the true self or the observer in Vedantic philosophy. Purusha is the true self or the Satnam, the neutral self. So bridging that Satnam and neutral self. What I was saying to Siri Gian is about our recordings representing almost that silent observer, that neutral self that then and also I believe they represent Shiva in this way, and Baba is an incarnation of Shiva. So, or the two of them are syncretized. So I feel that the witness of our recordings is an element of Baba Siddhi Chand. I'm sure that that's part of his the need to have these things. So anyway, the recordings represent Shiva, but also our neutral mind represents Shiva and Sakshi in this way. And so then coming to Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, the creator, the preserver, and the deliverer, or also birth, life, and death. And then we have that pause before rebirth. So, from Siri Guillen's message, with I think this came from Aagia Pal, that the positive mind is prana and electrons. Oh no, sorry, I said that prana and electrons, positive mind, um, neutral mind, Shushmana neutrons, negative mind, Apana protons. I want to also make the positive mind and the negative mind, the Ida and the Pingala, which uh, run around the Shushmana, the central channel. So we have that helix shape. We have that helix shape of the Ida and the Pingala that run up and down the central channel in this sort of twisty, you all know what a helix looks like. Um, and uh, and it's also part of that. It's the natural pace of life that causes that rise and fall, that birth, life, death, rebirth cycle within our own cells, within our own body, within our own central channel. And there are naturally things that we can do to accelerate that generation or that regeneration of those cells. Um, and like, so for example, there are specific asanas, and I really don't want to get on the camera today. I feel yucky, but there are specific asanas like downward dog, which if you guys know staff pose, and putting staff pose where you're seated with your legs extended out. And then you plant your hands next to your hips and you press down into the earth to grow your spine really long, that this naturally puts you in just the right alignment. And then if you raise your biceps sort of up toward your ears and you press up to the ceiling, so you're equally pressing between an invisible wall in front of you with your feet and an invisible wall above you with your hands. This is the exact same posture that you will be in downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Savasana. But when you get that specific alignment in that posture and in many other postures, you get those same helixes of energy, that double helix of energy that runs up and down your central channel. And basically what the internal and external rotation of the body does to maintain that precise alignment, it is that same helix. It's that same generative and regenerative energy. And once again, coming back to there is a slightly sexual component to it, or I think that my feeling is that if people have um, sexual trauma, they get stuck in the sexual end of it, and it doesn't actually have to be sexual, and you can simply come back to training your mind to not make it sexual. But I want to acknowledge the fact that there is also the sexually generative aspect of this. And so anyway, what I'm feeling is with our planet now, what I'm feeling is alien contact from aliens from another planet, or from other planets, from multiple other places, and that there is a cross-pollination of our species that is upticking. You know, there was always some degree of it before, but now it's the same thing, that that there is more contact, so there is naturally more cross-pollination. And there are two kinds of people. There's one side of people who are concerned with preserving the quote unquote purity and not mixing and letting their own thing be, quote unquote pure. And then there's the other side who feels that they are all for early integration and yeah, and just like full integration, and like this is what's happening, so let's go for it. Let us mix. And like and then there's the whole spectrum in between. But this is part of why we're seeing, I feel, the uptick in polarization in our country, that people are really afraid and concerned about losing their way of life, what they see as like their yeah, the only way they've ever known before, and they're afraid of um, what's about to happen. But what I feel is that we are, as a species, changing and evolving our DNA and our consciousness, and that's why I feel that it is changing our DNA. We are in fact, we're changing the DNA of ourselves. Even as we're alive, our DNA is changing. That's part of the message that I got. We're not in a place of stagnancy. We're in a place of, how do you say it? Congress. We're in a place of congress with the aliens, and that we are in a place of exchange of ideas. And I feel it almost in antithesis to these failed peace talks or whatever they've been doing. I feel it like almost like that this concord, in French, concord means harmony, and this is what I feel is a concord um through, I want to say through, my feeling is through this respectful puja, this respectful sacrificing of an old energy, and syncretizing with that. I feel that we're at this place of reaping, and that so there's going to be a lot of Shiva energy, and the message I'm feeling is to lean into the Shiva element of it, and to lean into Baba Siddhi Chand. This is part of where consciousness no reality comes in, is that it's going to be really sad to see that Shiva element reaping left and right all around us. That's going to feel a lot of feelings. And part of what I'm having from Baba is about engaging the neutral mind and the Satnam, the true self, and being, I feel that pillar, that strong central channel, representing that Shiva lingam, which represents a pillar in Hinduism. It's like the pillar from which everything else comes forth. So really um, tuning in to that central channel, that pillar aspect of self. Um, not as if to make oneself immune from it, but to resolve oneself, because there's going to be a lot of stuff to see. And I guess I'm just feeling to embrace the Shiva aspect. Um, so, oh, we lost. Who did we lose? Wait a second. Oh, it was Jagat Guru. Okay. Well, I think that is my message.
Okay, that's a biggie.
I know it was big. I feel that there's even, I hope I got it all.
Yes. Well, we should. Okay, so here we're going. This is the beginning, or have begun.
Yeah.
How wonderful. Does anybody want to talk about anything else? Okay. Okay. Well, oh, by the way, what you're talking about, then what about this Antichrist with us,
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
with the president?
Remember what
And I was just wondering, how would you think about all of that together?
he's agitating he's intentionally agitating um, religious wounds with that Easter post that he made, and then agitating with the Pope, and then agitating with this Jesus picture, and resurrecting the it looked like Epstein person. Um, it's intentionally agitating religious trauma in people. Um, that's what I can say about that. And also, I think he might have dementia. If he's actually doing,
Yes.
no, he might not be doing it. There could be somebody else. I heard that there are was gambling on what did he say about Allah in the on the message? On his tweet, he said something about praise be to Allah or something like this.
I don't
And
know.
yeah, and there's a gambling organization that had bets on if he would say that before a certain date, and people have won like millions of dollars because of this.
Mhm.
And then they were suggesting that not just but that other people could be putting stuff onto his things. But I'll tell you that there was a guy that I know who died, and they gave him morphine at the end of his life in the last couple of, and um, another friend of ours went to go see him, and he was very, very, very high on morphine, and he did something very inappropriate. Um, like he was out of his mind on drugs. And I think that strange things happen when people are dying and have dementia. So it could be that Trump is saying religiously hurtful things because he has some kind of a problem, or it could be that he's doing it. It could be other people are doing it to incite a religious war. It could be that I don't know, but I see a religious war coming. That's what's happening.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's part of the purity. The people who want the purity are falling on the side of the religious war.
Okay.
Mm.
Because I heard you from um, a few weeks ago was talking about the Holy War.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's
Mm.
and it's also it's related to the waterways too. The
Mm.
waterways that brought the Crusaders in, the and out, the waterways that brought in all of the trade, that's part of the agitation of this.
Mm.
In fact, like some I'd heard religious scholars saying back in the 90s that part of the reason why religions sprang from the Middle East always had visions of God as water was because this was a culture that knew deserts. But
Mm.
the way that people's relationship with water and God is inextricably linked. And the ways that we regulate the waterways are the same ways that we regulate energy, which is both money and it's like a way of like if you do hydroelectric, it's a way of doing currency, like a electric current. It's um and they it is there's so much how do you call it, like prosperity doctrine, and the people at the top always believe that they deserve to be at the top and that they got there by just means. Even if they hurt the people below them, they think that in order to keep them at the top, the means were just because they deserve to be there. It's part of it's part of why it's like that. It's part of why it's a religious war. It's part of why it's on the water. It's part of why the trade will be affected and why it's amongst the 250 richest people in the world.
Mm.
That's that's what it is.
Mm. And our children are going to change the writing because in this country, we know that writing can rule a life. And that when you write something, there's truth in it, but also there can be bent truth. So we have examples here, and now today we have this administration giving us the example of they are in charge. They do what they want because we can study the history. So we need to heal from the history, and that's why this is happening to us now, so that we can see why we are here. And we, in my opinion, should be able to travel back to the open door, back to the looking out the window, the seeking with love and seeing what else is out there moving freely, and then noticing back to where we can correct the words. We can change the way, the idea, and get back into that love evolution and erase worth and value as opposed to monetary systems. That's just my belief. I need to let that go, put it up there, digest it, bring it back in, and then I can learn through that, right? That we're learning. Our children are, geez, wow, they're 6 years old. They don't, it's just amazing. Star children who come out with all of this knowledge, they're just physicists, they're mathematicians right away. 6 years old, they're doing it. It's okay. That's okay. Whoever that person is, that's okay.
Okay. And also, you were talking about the ways. You know what? That's what people were teaching from Jesus in the first 100 or so years. They called it the ways, W-A-Y-S. They were not called Christians, okay? And I'll tell you that in another week. Okay. Thank you so much.
I'll just say one thing real quick. I feel hopeful, and the reason is about everything that's happened to Orban and just totally obliterated the people. People spoke. The people stood up, and the people did not. From Hungary did not elect him, and I feel very strongly that maybe it's couched in the language of holy war, what's happening. However, I do feel that we are awakening. It's happening. It's slow, maybe not as fast as we want, but what happened with Orban, I felt like, oh my goodness, yes, people are awake, and and so I personally, you know, nothing surprises me with Trump, and it's just like the insanity of it all. Even listening to his niece, Mary Trump, clinical psychologist, and what she says about, I mean, it's just it's insanity. But however, we we are the sane ones. We are waking up, and so I just want to say that I feel hopeful about the shift, that enough of us are really focusing on sending love and light and compassion to the world, that we shall, as we say, overcome. And yeah, that we're waking up. And yeah, so that's it, what I wanted to say.
Okay, that's important because that's what's happening. And that's why it's happening with now.
Yeah.
I was talking about evolve and at the same time the devolve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There we have
Mm-hmm.
the bifurcation. That's it.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So God bless you, all of you.
All of you.
Yeah. Okay. So Harimandir, will you sing? Harimandir?
Ah, I don't know what to talk.
Stretch those arms out.
Hold on. Did that make it go away? Okay. Ay, ay, ay. All right. So inhale deeply and move with the in celestial communication as you do this. May the Lord's sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way. Guide your way on. Guide your way on.
Inhale. Bless you all. And stay with your strong nerves. God bless you. And your love. Oh, totally no love.
Yes.
Okay. Take care. God
Yeah.
bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye.